thank you for joining us today as part of the next edition of the leadership series to talk about the evolution of GCCs in the country. I have with me Ranjan Biswas, who is the managing partner for the technology, media and telecom business at EY. He has some very interesting perspectives and very different perspectives on how the GCC industry has evolved and will continue to evolve, given his breadth of experience and the length of time he's been associated with the GCC world. So thank you, Ranjan, for joining us today. Now, you've been associated with the GCC ecosystem and its growth for many, many years. Talk to us a little bit about what you've seen change with respect to GCCs. They've evolved quite a bit, as you know. What, according to you, are some of the salient changes you've noticed in the past, let's say, decade or so?
Yeah, so thanks, Anandam, for having me. I think the GCC landscape has gone through some major shift over the last 15, 17 years. But I would think the two things that stand out for me is just, from being a complete time and sort of, the body shopping and from the time piece and people piece, it's moved on to more India being the back office for the world. What that means is all of a sudden there is an inherent requirement for the India back office to be far more productive, both in terms of efficiency and in terms of delivery, right? So all of this cannot be just done on a time-based model,
right?
Time and material-based model. It has to be done using a lot of technology. It has to be done using a lot of knowledge from various sources, and obviously creating that environment which enables the India back office to support a global organization. So to answer your question, I think the two big changes would be, in my mind, the use of very high-end technology to make them more productive. Whether it is RPA, AI, or whether it is, getting deeper into the cyber elements, whatever the case may be. The second really piece is, the evolution of, what is being delivered out of these centers, right? Earlier it started, with maybe a call center kind of a view, but now you're doing, regression models which go deep into the heart of how does one sell, how does one attract customers. So it's fascinating, and I'm happy to say that as EY we've had the front stage, the center seat, if I may, to get to see this evolution, to participate in evolution, to actually provide to this evolution, and actually lead it from the front.
So, I mean, if just to summarize, you spoke a lot about emerging tech, you spoke about actually GCCs becoming more of a front office than back office, right? Now, in the last couple of months, we've published a report as EY, which talks about the evolution of GCCs and what the future is, right? And we said that this industry as a whole is expected to go to about 110 billion in the next 5-6 years. We have also mentioned that the number of GCCs in the country would evolve to the 2,400, 2,500 mark, right? Now, from your perspective, and given that you watch this very closely, do you believe that this industry will continue to grow on that kind of a trajectory? I mean, it's really shot up in the last 2 to 3 years. Do you see that trajectory being maintained? If so, do you see other evolutions coming as part of this growth strategy?
Well, I'm pretty sure that the trajectory will be maintained because there's a lot of give between, where we are and where we can be. I think it's also a function of how India, is able to cope up with the kind of solutions that is required. So it's not just what we can attract, it's also what we can prepare for, right? So from my perspective, I definitely think that the trajectory can even be better, but there are nuances in between which we need to sort of sort out. I think, as we evolve and become, and head towards numbers or the kind of people that deliver these numbers or the entire environment. I feel that, as we think through this more succinctly, we'll have to see whether we can look at various other cities also becoming a part of this entire movement. I think real estate is maybe getting a little too expensive now. It will continue to get more expensive. People may not want to come to major cities anymore. I think the evolution that you're talking about, in my mind, is more geographic and location based. I think talent will always come through. How do we harness this talent, and in which pockets, which cohorts, which geographic locations? I think that you will see will definitely change over the next 10 to 15 years.
So that's an interesting point. So you did mention the fact that geographically there's going to be an evolution as well, tier 2 cities, etc. And we mentioned some of that in the report as well. Ranjan, have been associated with the, let's say, transaction side of the business at EY for quite some time. You're well versed with how PE firms operate, VC firms operate, etc. Do you see interest there as far as GCC and how GCCs are evolving in the country?
I think that there are two perspectives. One is, will the private equity firms globally start doing some of their work here in India? I think the answer to that, the writing is on the wall. Lots of them have already started doing it. They've started employing Indian talent to help them do various things, including bookkeeping, valuations, portfolio performance analysis, and so on and so forth. I think the real question you're asking is, will they start participating in the GCC environment by acquiring assets, right? Listen, Arindam, I honestly believe that there are many companies. I think a large majority of the Fortune 500 is already here. The 500 to 2000 Fortune companies will also come, and they are coming in boatloads today. There will, at certain points in the business graph, if I may, the linear graph, there will be some opportunities of divestments, which will happen as companies think that, okay, they've got a very decent size back office here. How do we monetize that? In my mind, it's a no-brainer. It has got to happen. Private equity will surely look at opportunities to see whether there are divestment opportunities within large companies where they can run the back offices. We've been talking about it for a while, but I think most of the large organizations have kept their back offices closer to their chest. There have been instances already in the past of divestments. I only see this curve getting a little bit steeper and more exciting going forward.
So that's exciting as well, because that's a very different facet that not many people talk about. So maybe one final question, Ranjan, given that you've been with EY for such a long time and you see this up and close on a day-to-day basis, how is EY changing today to meet the kind of growth demands that the GCC industry is bringing to us? What are some of those things that you see happening, maybe from an investment perspective, maybe is in general the firm shaping up more strategically to tackle this kind of a need?
Like I started by saying, I think, I don't think I know that we've been in the forefront of shaping or reshaping the GCC strategy in the country. We have worked with the best of the world logos, and we will continue to do so. We internally also need to adapt and change. Machine learning, AI, we've been hearing about this for a while, but I honestly believe generative AI will be disruptive. We are already ahead of the curve on this. We have differential investments across the world in our EY world that we have made, not just here in India, but globally. We will continue to bring these to our customers to make them more efficient and provide to them the leading edge. If we do not evolve, if we do not learn, I think we will be outplayed in the market, which is something that I don't see happening, because that's not the way we would like to go about our business. We want to be in the forefront. We will invest ahead of the curve. We will make sure our customers enjoy that benefit, and we will learn with our customers. We are willing to invest alongside our customers, and that's really the defining moment, because all relationships, all partnerships are built through trust, and that's what we want to continue to give our customers: trust and exceptional client service.
Excellent. So trust, exceptional client service, build with them, build for them. Those are some of the major points that I thought you mentioned as part of this. I think this is an exciting journey. There's a lot more to come, as you rightly said. So thank you, Ranjan, for joining us today. And for those watching, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back shortly with the next edition of this series. Stay tuned.